This is part 3 of the tradition choices. Transformation. Modify species special project cost reduced by 5%. Increases our energy storage capacity by 5,000. Access edicts convert energy, minerals, and food to energy, minerals, or food. Apparently handy. We can restore destroyed worlds. While a planet is terraformed, there's no negative impact on happiness. Increase our gene modification points by 1. Endurance. Increases plant habitability by 5%. Our monthly unity is increased by 5%. Our war exhaustion gain is decreased by 25%. We have access to the dark matter reactor. A fairly powerful reactor, gives us a lot of energy. Plant unique. Our slave resource production is increased by 20%. Our megastructure build speed is increased by 24%. And we can now build the megastructure open habitat, which automatically expands by time, which is not yet implemented. Navy. Bear increased level for our admirals and increased ship experience gain. Ship invasion increased by 10%. Ship combat disengagement chance increased by 20%, and emergency damage risk reduced by 10%. Ship sublight speed increased by 20%, and like always, this is overpowered. Unlock building Starship Construction Institute. I actually do not know what this does, but I think this reduces cost or time to build ships in that system. Increase ship hull and armor shield hit points by 5%. Aggression. This is not currently available, as it clearly states, so we will be skipping it. But yeah, nothing really good here anyways. Statecraft. Ruler level cap increased by 2. Faction influence gain increased by 25%. Censorship. Starbase capacity increased by 2, and core sector systems by 1. Edict costs are reduced by 10%, and duration increased by 10%. We can recruit 3 more leaders. Tradition costs from colonies and tradition costs from systems reduced by 10%. Inspiration. General level cap increased by 2. Happiness of all populations are increased by 5%. Building speed increased by 20%, and unity output by 5%. Leader level cap increased by 1. Leader experience gain by 25%. Monthly influence increased by 10%, and unity output by 5%. Leader lifespan increased by 10 years, and population growth speed by 15%. Physics, society, and engineering output increased by 10%. Fairly powerful tradition. Exploration. Increased sensor lane and hyperlane detection range by 1. Sciences leader cap increased by 2, and Empire leader capacity increased by 2. Research station costs reduced by 25%. Survey speed increased by 25%, and anomaly discovery chance by 10%. Research anomaly speed increased by 30%. Physics and society and engineering research increased by 3% per unique strategic resource, up to 30% maximum. Academy. Empire leader capacity increased by 2. Empire leader pool size increased by 3. More choices for our leaders. Leader level cap increased by 1. Leader experience gain increased by 20%. Level 3 science labs produced an additional 1 of their primary research, and level 4 an additional 2. Army starting experience and ship starting experience increased by 100. Additional, the starting level of our admirals and generals are increased by 1. Administrative. Leader empire capacity increased by 4. Leader recruitment cost decreased by 20%. Efficient bureaucracy. Ship building speed increased by 10%. Building speed increased by 25%. And clear blocker time reduced by 25%. Plans for the sector governor and at least a planetary administration produces an additional 10% unity and reduces their building costs by 10%. This effect is halved for core worlds. Governor level cap increased by 1. Additional, all governors start with an additional trade. Edict duration increased by 50%. Aesthetics. Governing ethics attractions increased by 15% on planets with the Otacon monument building chain. Governing ethics attraction increased by 5%. Happiness increased by 5% for all populations. Enables a policy will let set aside up to 10 of our leader slots. Each year, we have a chance to select a specific benefit as produced by our artists. The chance variety benefits offered increases by the number of leader slots set aside. This is actually a fairly powerful mechanic, though you need a lot of leaders to be able to properly use it. Foreign empire opinion increased by 10%. Trade attractiveness increased by 5%. Grand architecture building policy, which increases building costs by 20, 40, or 60%, and reduces building speed to 25%, 50%, or 75%. In return, some fairly powerful bonuses are granted. Annual 5 expensive empire unique wonders and buildings, each providing a planet and empire worldwide bonus. Planetary capital is required to build them, and no more than 1 wonder can be built on each planet. And that's it for part 3.